Organizations will want to become GDPR compliant, of course, when they're responsible organizations and they want to avoid the fines and the reputation damage that can actually cause a bigger risk than the fines. But in this process of GDPR compliance, there are actually opportunities. Organizations today compete on privacy. Those companies that get privacy right are much more likely to be successful in the marketplace, not just towards the consumers, but also towards other businesses. Because with the GDPR, the whole chain will now need to be GDPR compliant, and all the businesses that you're working with will ask organizations to be GDPR compliant. And there's another way to look at this question as well. Personal data remains valuable. Organizations that want to be competitive will need to continue to analyze personal data. But now they will be competing on how best to leverage personal data whilst remaining compliant and gaining their customers' trust. It is important for companies to acknowledge that GDPR compliance is not just a legal project, it's much bigger than that, and therefore it gives the opportunity to companies to look at their whole data strategies. This is also important because eventually it allows you to get business value out of a legal compliance project that is costly and complex. And it also will get you much further than just GDPR compliance, because GDPR is actually the beginning. The data market is largely unregulated today. If we think about traditionally heavily regulated markets such as the financial services sector, the energy sector, the automotive sector, and we compare that with the data market, we recognize there's still a long way to go. So there's a number of initiatives on top of the GDPR today at EU level that will shape this data market, such as the review of the EU Privacy Directive, rules on the Internet of Things, on the free flow of data, on artificial intelligence and machine learning. So organizations that invest today in their data strategies will remain compliant and competitive in the long term as we move towards a fully regulated data market.